If BESCOM takes 220 units, that 20 units is not being given by the supplier, that is, I'm not giving it. Maharashtra must give the 20 units from somewhere because there is power consumption here, and that 20 units becomes the unscheduled overdrawal. The board, my lords, passes a resolution admitting the liability of 4 rupees 83 paisa and specifically saying 4 rupees 83 paisa could be paid to you, Mr. Puvaya. However, final settlement, which is, my lords, the 12 rupees, 4 rupees difference, that final settlement will happen after the litigation is over.
Now 483, who's stopping you from getting 483?
My lords, I demand they don't pay, therefore I file a writ petition, my lords, that they have a contractual liability. Your lordships have held, ABL International has held, and MP Power Corporation in 2024. The settlement rate for overdrawal by the procurer shall be at the quoted tariff of 4 rupees 85 paisa per unit, and any impact of the same over and above the quoted tariff shall be borne by the seller. I stop. 4 rupees 80 paisa they will pay. If Maharashtra take 12 rupees from me, then I have to pay the remaining. Quick background, Malas, before your lordship looks at
I want some time.
I'll finish my bit, Malas. Then of course they can respond.
Yes. No, since he's
And
here.
Then Supreme Court starts from Monday. Malas, I'll be very brief, Malas, on the facts. And I'll not trouble your lordships with more than 2 or 3 papers. Your lordships permit me, please don't see the papers, my lords. I'll place the facts in a nutshell. I am, my lords, an energy company which, my lords, trades in electricity. There was a transaction by which, when Karnataka needed power, power was imported from Maharashtra to Karnataka through a radial line which, my lords, connected Telangana in Maharashtra to Chikkodi. Now that radial line is, my lords, a line which actually transports power one way and not 2 ways. And therefore power was imported from Maharashtra into Karnataka. And there was an agreement between me and BESCOM. BESCOM needed the power, where BESCOM would pay me 4 rupees 83 paisa per unit of power. The power flowed, there is no dispute. For the power that has been supplied, BESCOM had to pay me, there is no dispute. There is a power purchase agreement and an amendment to the power purchase agreement in terms of a supplemental power purchase agreement. But in a transaction, my lords, when power moves from one state to another state, there is something called unscheduled interchange which occurs. That is, India is today one grid. Therefore, if I agree that I will take 200 units of power from Maharashtra into Karnataka, I, BESCOM, should remain at 200 units. If BESCOM takes 220 units, that 20 units is not being given by the supplier, that is, I'm not giving it. Maharashtra must give the 20 units from somewhere because there is power consumption here, and that 20 units becomes the unscheduled overdrawal. Similarly, my lords, if BESCOM does not take the 100 units, but takes only 80 units, there will be a 20 unit excess, there will be a 20 unit underdrawal by BESCOM. The agreement said that for any unintentional overdrawal that BESCOM would do, of whichever that unit is, the same quantum of money per unit, which is 4 rupees 83 paisa, would be paid to me because I had to in turn, under something called a final balancing settlement mechanism, which is, my lords, a regulation both by KERC and by MERC for Maharashtra. The Maharashtra final balancing settlement mechanism would impose a levy on me because there is more power which has gone on. I have to pay Maharashtra, BESCOM would pay me. A dispute, my lords, arose, and that dispute is not germane here, but a dispute arose with Maharashtra saying for unintentional overdrawal, it's not 4 rupees 83 paisa, you have to give me 12 rupees. I contested that, my lords, as Global Energy, I contested that, my lords, before the Maharashtra Commission, saying 4 rupees 83 paisa I will give, but 12 I cannot give. The Maharashtra Commission held against me and said, no, you will pay under a standby agreement 12 rupees and not 4 rupees 83 paisa. I went up in appeal, my lords, before the Appellate Tribunal of Electricity. Maharashtra put a gun to my head, I withdrew the appeal. Fortunately for me, when I withdrew the appeal, PCKL and BESCOM, that is the power company of Karnataka, which was, my lords, the procurer, they, my lords, intervened and contested that appeal saying 4 rupees 83 paisa is to be paid, but 12 rupees is not to be paid. Today I stand before your lordships only for that 4 rupees 83 paisa.
And now they are doing a volte-face?
No, let's, I'll tell you before the volte-face what they did. If it was just a volte-face, I couldn't have filed a writ, my lords. I, my lords, petitioned them saying, please pay me for the power that you have consumed. You have in turn taken the power and given it to consumers in Bangalore. They have paid you their bills. Money is with BESCOM. Why is it you are not giving it to me? Because I am the supplier of power. They say we will go to the learned advocate general. Not my dear friend Shashi, my lord, the predecessor. Fortunately, I file an RPI, I get that opinion. The learned AG issues an opinion, my lords, to PCKL, specifically indicating that 4 rupees 83 paisa you should pay. Rest, that is anything more than 4 rupee 80 paisa, please wait for whatever dispute that is emanating in after. My lord, that's only a legal opinion. I cannot, my lords, put my fulcrum on that legal opinion. But fortunately for me, that legal opinion was before the board. And today, my lords, BESCOM is not a state department. It is a separate company as an instrumentality. The board, my lords, passes a resolution admitting the liability of 4 rupees 83 paisa and specifically saying 4 rupees 83 paisa could be paid to you, Mr. Puvaya. However, final settlement, which is, my lords, the 12 rupees, 4 rupees difference, that final settlement will happen after the litigation is over.
Now 483, who's stopping you from getting 483?
My lords, I demand they don't pay, therefore I file a writ petition, my lords, that they have a contractual liability. Your lordships have held, ABL International has held, and MP Power Corporation in 2024, in the context of electricity, has held that DISCOMs cannot just vanish by indicating that it's a contractual dispute. They are an instrumentality of state. Contract is 4 rupees 82 paise. Power consumed is admitted. And my lords, a board resolution is passed.
That is ABL para 28 is.
Please, my lords. And based on ABL, my lords, the Supreme Court in 2024 and MP Power indicates that liability should be paid. My lords, in fact, it is not the case that I am now pocketing this money. I have paid the 4 rupees 82 paisa to Maharashtra already. Maharashtra is claiming 12 rupees from me, for which a litigation is going on. Now, at least the 482.
Now you are entitled to 483.
That's all. My claim, my lords, is it's about 48 crores, my lords, at 4 rupees 82 paisa. My lords, in that light, please see, my lords, 4 or 5 clauses of the agreement, and I'll not trouble your lordships any further. My lords, the power purchase agreement, my lords, your lordships will find, and my lords, just in terms of completeness, please come to page number 157. The genesis of this was not a green room transaction, my lords, sitting in somebody's chamber and signing a contract. It was a tender. And in the tender, the condition is that we will have an agreement and standby power will be paid. Please see at 157, my lords.
Yes.
This is the RFP in the tender document. My lords, at 157, please come to item number 6. Kindly see on top, my lords, on 157. Pre-requirements, permits and clearances to be obtained by the successful bidder. I am the successful bidder. Please see 6. Standby agreement for generator with MSEDCL is the Maharashtra State Electricity Development Company Limited. That is, this, I think, Distribution Company Limited. Agreement between successful bidder and MSEDCL, and whose responsibility? Kindly see my responsibility. But it's pursuant to this that I enter into a standby power agreement which says 12 rupees. Now please come to the PPA, my lords, at page number 221. Please see at 221, middle quadrant of the page, 4.2.3, my lords, scheduling and dispatch. This is the agreement between me and my esteemed friend Mr. Chinnapa's client BESCOM. My lords, it starts earlier. Please come to 221. Please see Article 4, capacity, availability and dispatch.
Yes.
Please may I invite my lords' kind attention to 4.2.3.
While
Variation between scheduled energy, that is at 100 units,
and
actual energy, which I take as 120 units, at the delivery point shall be accounted through the UI's unscheduled interchange as for the provisions of the grid code and the UI regulations issued from time to time. Please see the next one, my lords. For any overdrawal by the procurer, that's BESCOM, at the delivery point, applicable UI charges payable above quoted tariff of 4 rupees 80 paisa unit shall be to the seller's account as voluntarily agreed by the seller. My lords, now please see, my lords, there was an amendment to this, just one clause. Please come to 250. I am claiming, my lords, this is again undisputed fact to say 4 rupees 85 paisa is crystallized. Please see, my lords, at 250. Your lordships will find in the middle quadrant Article 4. Kindly see Article 4 as existing is on the top, which I have read. Please see the modified version, my lords. This is also signed between BESCOM and me.
yes.
Deviations due to system dynamics or unintentional deviations is to be settled between the seller and the procurer shall be as per the agreed terms in the final balancing and settlement mechanism of Maharashtra or any other regulation applicable from time to time. However, the settlement rate for overdrawal by the procurer, that's BESCOM, shall be at the quoted tariff of 4 rupees 85 paisa per unit, and any impact on the same over and above that, my lords, is so 4 rupees 85 paisa is crystallized. Now please straight away, my lords, permit me to come to, my lords, there are multiple litigations back forth. If my friend says it's subject to litigation, I will then read their affidavits before appellate. I'm keeping it aside for now, my lords, with my lord's leave. Please straight away permit me to come to, my lords, the AG's opinion. My lords, I will read the underdrawal. My friend wants me to read the underdrawal. No, I am grateful. I will read it, my lords. Please come back to page number 250. My lords, Mr. Chinnappa wants me to read the second part. I will read that, my lords.
Yes.
Would your lordships permit me to read from the third line, my lords? As second line, my lords, terms of the final balance and settlement mechanism of Maharashtra or any other regulation applicable from Maharashtra from time to time. However, the settlement rate for overdrawal by the procurer shall be at the quoted tariff of 4 rupees 85 paisa per unit, and any impact of the same over and above the quoted tariff shall be borne by the seller. I stop. 4 rupees 80 paisa they will pay. If Maharashtra take 12 rupees from me, then I have to pay the remaining. Now please, my lord, permit me to read the next, in the interest of my esteemed friend, he wants me to read it. In case of underdrawal by the procurer, that's BESCOM taking less than what it should, the same shall be settled as per the applicable FBSM rate of Maharashtra, subject to the issue of corresponding FBSM account by the appropriate authority in Maharashtra, and to the extent of receipt and realization of the same by the seller. In other words, if there is an underdrawal, that is 100 units they should take, they take only 80. For 20 units, they should actually get the money back. That is, the authority in Maharashtra, which is the Maharashtra Electricity Regulatory Commission, will decide. Then that will be paid to me, the seller, and the minute I receive it, I should give it to him. I have not received a penny, the litigation is pending. So therefore, my lords, the reciprocal scenario is this. For overdrawal, they should pay me. For underdrawal, Maharashtra should pay them, but Maharashtra will pay me and I should pay them. My friends are now setting up the case that we have admitted that for overdrawal, we have to pay 4 rupees 85 paisa. There may be board resolution, but there is underdrawal at some point of time for which we have not got money from Maharashtra through APTEL and you. Therefore, we will set it off. There is no case of set off here, my lords. For the power that is consumed, they pay. For the power that's not consumed, when the accounts are settled, my lords, Maharashtra will pay them. Now, please permit me, my lords, I have given the account saying
So
that
you are now caught in this crossfire.
I am caught in the crossfire and I am out of pocket of 40 crores. My lords, just 2 documents. Please see the AG's opinion, my lords. Fortunately, my lords, it's a RTI document, my lords. Therefore, now, my lords, AG's opinion is at 704. In fact, my lords, a tangential scenario. Because I paid 40 crores and I did not have money to pay my other vendors, I went into insolvency. I went through CIRP process. Fortunately, I am an MSME. Therefore, the insolvency was resolved and I came back. After my resurrection, I filed this writ petition. My lords, please permit me to straight away. The opinion starts at 704.
Yes.
Please see the question, my lords, at 717. My lords, in 717, the second bullet point. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Whether PCKL should await the conclusion of the proceedings pending in APTEL. That will be my friend's fulcrum, saying in APTEL the underdrawal is pending. Whether PCKL should await the conclusion of the proceedings in APTEL against MERC order in so and so, challenge of the demand made by MSCDCL in terms of the standby agreement. That's the demand, my lords, for 12 rupees. Or petition pending before KERC. Now kindly see the last bullet point, my lords. Whether BESCOM can settle Global Energy's claim amount in part or in full and thereafter await the decision of adjudication of the issues engaged in bilateral discussions. My lords, the opinion straight away, my lords, is at page number 731, bottom quadrant.
Yes.
The learned AG, as it then was, my lords, applies quantum merit principles. And a well-reasoned opinion, my lords.
Yes,
He issues
yes.
quantum merit and says, please pay, because on quantum merit you should pay. My lords, I am at 731, bottom quadrant.
Yes.
Please permit me to read, my lords, the third line in the last bullet point at 731. However, my lords, it starts after FDSM full stop.
I'm there. Yes.
However, since neither the standby agreement nor the power purchase agreement have specified the mechanism for intentional overdrawal, this is a fit situation to apply the principle of quantum merit. Global Energy has paid the cost of overdrawal of power on behalf of BESCOM at the rate of 12 rupees 82 paisa as per the actual charged by Maharashtra State Electricity Distribution Company in accordance with the standby agreement. In providing this service, this is the rate at which it should be compensated under the FBSM, as BESCOM would otherwise unjustly benefit from its actions of overdrawal despite repeated warnings and requests through correspondence from GPL. Having said this, my lords, please see the last observation at 734. My lords, at 734, last bullet point at the bottom quadrant of the page, please come, my lords, the last 4 lines, the sentence starting appropriate forum full stop.
Yes.
I read from them, my lords, if your lordships
In
are.
view
are
of
that way.
totality.
In view of the totality of the circumstances, it would be fair to opine that Global Energy's claim for overdrawal may be honored expeditiously along with the contractual rate, that contractual late payment charge is not the interest. Well, let's kindly see further. Well, in the issue, in any event, if issues are not settled as per advice of claim, it is certainly advisable as a goodwill measure for BESCOM to at least pay Global Energy at the agreed rate of 485 per unit, if not more. The opinion says pay 12 rupees, that's quantum merit, but at the least pay 4 rupees. 4 rupees. My lords, now this is an opinion, be that as it may. Please come to the, my lords, board resolution passed by BESCOM at 736, annexure BF, my lords.
They accept this?
They accept it, my lords, without demurrer. And they say this will pay the larger settlement after the litigation, because they have to pay me 12 rupees. And today, my lords, they plead differently in their affidavits. And they also plead, my lords,
So this is
only a
board resolution.
Board resolution, my lords, BF at 736. Kindly see certified copy of the resolutions passed at the 87th meeting of the Board of Directors of BESCOM. My lord, this is 2018. Please permit me to come to 737. They quote, my lords, at 737, at the top quadrant of the page, my lords may find within brackets 8, Arabic 8, my lords.
Yes, I am there.
Yeah, the opinion of the Advocate General is as follows. I will not read that, my lords. A, B, they quote it. Then please, my lords, come to the resolution, which is at page number 739, the very bottom, my lords, bottom second half of the page. Resolved that. For the reasons explained, approval be and is hereby accorded to admit, kindly see the words, my lords, to admit the claim of Global Energy for settlement at the agreed rate of 4 rupees 85 paisa for energy overdrawn by BESCOM during the period of power agreement. This approval is subject to the following. Please see the subject to, my lords. And that's what they bask on subject to at 740. Please, my lords, ignore item number 1. That is overdrawal, energy account must be given. There is no dispute, energy accounts will be given. Please see 2. Well, that's important. I'll read that, my lords. 1. The claim of Global Energy for overdrawal and underdrawal energy and scheduled energy shall be accurately ascertained by authentic scrutiny, comprehensive verification by PCAs as per the opinion of the Advocate General. I'll stop here. My lords, this issue of how many units of power has come in, plus power is not, my lords, consumed in terms of hourly or daily basis. It is consumed in 15-minute time blocks of every day. And 15-minute time blocks, my lords, the accounts are kept by the load dispatcher. There is a Maharashtra SLDC, which is a state load dispatcher for Maharashtra, and there's a Karnataka load dispatcher, which is the Karnataka State Load Dispatch Center. They have the accounts. Our bills are based on those accounts of how much power is flowing, because otherwise I cannot bill. Now, please see, my lords, item number, of course, that number 1, my lords, is based on the fact in the previous resolution, my lords, which you saw, that it says settlement at the agreed rate of 485 for energy overdrawn during the period. No problem about it. Whatever energy is overdrawn based on the account. Please see 2, my lords.
Yes.
And this 2 is claimed in the affidavit to say this is incoherent. We have not admitted. Now, number 2, final settlement. Kindly note that word, my lords. This is not interim settlement of 482. I claim 12 rupees. They claim underdrawal. 4 rupees 82 paisa is the minimum that is to be paid. Final settlement of deviation account, that is overdrawal / underdrawal, shall be on disposal of pending appeal case, that's before APTEL, and final orders thereon in APTEL. An authenticated and accurate account to be paid to BESCOM shall be ascertained by GM, etc., in coordination with PCKL. Also regarding interim settlement, if any, that's, my lords, the 4 rupees editor, made by PCKL, pending final orders, respective appeal petitions filed and so and so. Therefore, if they give me 482, which they admit in their, ultimately, if it is held, my lords, that the fuel must come to me, what is given as 482 will be adjusted. My only prayer, my lords, is this, that in the previous page bottom, there is, my lords, an accord, but there is no satisfaction. In law, my lords, if there is an accord, there have to be a satisfaction. The accord is when they agree in a board resolution that 4 rupees 85 paisa will be paid. My lords, in this slide, two submissions, my lords. APL International and MP Power Management both indicate, my lords. One, they cannot, there is a defense raised in the affidavit to saying we are an instrumentality of state. If we are an instrumentality of state, then under the constitution, you have to follow the Article 77 mandate, etc. We don't have a sovereign agreement. This is a private agreement. Therefore, you cannot come and claim. MP Power Management precisely answers that question, saying in a power contract, when there is a BESCOM which is state controlled and an instrumentality, they cannot wash away their obligations and they cannot say writ is not liable. In fact, Supreme Court directs that the payments be made. And ABL International was in the context of a commercial contract.
Yes,
and
recovery
MP
of
Power
money.
is precisely, my lords, on power contracts. And precisely the defense that is raised here saying, in a government contract, you have to follow 77. Second ground which they raise, my lords, is, this is a board resolution. Board resolution is an internal document that does not cast liability. My lords, I have quoted their articles of association. The articles of association of BESCOM says, the obligation to pay or the obligation to receive or pay money for services that have been received is all to be decided by the board, and there is a board resolution. It is in that context, my lords, I file a writ petition. The last submission I should make, my lords, is they also raise the ground of delay and laches. My lord, this claim which I made was in 2017, my lords, I raised an invoice. In 2017, when I raised an invoice, they go to the AG in 2018. The board resolution admitting the liability, my lords, is in 2018.
Yes.
Now, my lords, we are in 2025. Therefore, they turn up and say, how is that a writ petition is filed now? What happened is, because money didn't come from me from BESCOM, I went into, my lords, CIRP process in 2019.
That's all right. Money has not come even today.
Even today, the 4 years, my lords, by limitation vanishes because of section 60 of the IBC. I came out of the resolution process, my lords, and became a standalone company in
Well,
2020.
if money had come, it's a different.
If money had come to the,
You are claiming something other than that, so
Yes.
money has not come even today.
this, my lords, is just my submission.
Is Jan sir? ಇನ್ನೊಂದಿನ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ?
ಅಲ್ಲ, ತುಂಬಾ ಇದೆ ಹೇಳಕ್ಕೆ.
ತುಂಬಾ
ಅದು my last friend has filed 4 or 5 volumes, but it's argued only 4 or 5 pages. So,
in a nutshell.
ನಾವು ಡಿಸ್ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. But only argue, my lords, only what might contain, my lords.
I'll have to take.
In a nutshell.
I'll have to open the nut a little bit more.
Open the nut.
If I was any faster, I couldn't breathe, my lord.
Crack the shell. Correct.
Grateful, my lords.
ಯಾವತ್?
When your lordship's coming next time to Bangalore.
14th, I guess.
Lordships may permit me to appear.
Online. Yes, Supreme Court ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಮತ್ತೆ. Friday.
It's open by.
And Friday.
Friday.
14 miscellaneous day.
That's why I said, yes. We'll take it on 14th. Heard the learned senior counsel Sergeant Poya appearing for the petitioner. The learned senior counsel Dhyan Chinnappa representing BESCOM, seeks 10 days time to submit the reply submissions. List on 14th at 2:30 p.m.
Please, very grateful.
For further hearing.